And we're live.
I went to a winery and it was a little snooty. Everybody there was a little bit snooty, but it was like all the free wine you could drink essentially, and like it was like multiple. You
Little
paid
tiny
like
cups.
there was like a tiered thing you could pay. It's like, all right, for $20 you get to try 3 different wines, and it was like for $50 it's 5 different wines, and I was like, well, what do we get for $120? You're going to taste every wine that we make as much as you'd like. And I was like, I'll take 2.
Yeah,
And we're just in there like, we don't know anything about wine really,
sir,
but we're
one
drinking
is
them.
all you can drink. What are you going to do with twice as much as you can drink?
Well, there's 2 of us.
I know.
So like, we just got shit faced, and then we bought a few bottles of like our favorites. There were these red dessert wines that were just really sweet and delicious. And so we just got shit faced, grabbed a couple bottles, walked through the winery, stumbling around, had some fun out there in the winery, like in the fields, in the grape fields. Then drove to a restaurant, had a huge fight, and it was an interesting day. It was
So
highly recommended.
I've never gone wine tasting before, but people don't actually spit it out. That never made sense to me. Like you just take little sips.
So the people who spit it out are usually like wine judges. It's like if they're going to be judging wine for a competition, then they'll not only spit, but they'll cleanse their palate with
because like someone who's taste testing food, if they were to spit it out, you didn't get the full experience. Like swallow.
Well, food doesn't intoxicate you.
Yeah, I think
So,
the deal is if you were to,
tricks.
but if you were to do like, 13, 17, 20 wines that day, you might be impaired on the last wine.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
They didn't. I did a wine tasting tour in France, which was pretty cool. I think it was in
that's
Nice.
cool.
La la.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did actually. And you wouldn't think so because I don't like alcohol. But like
Same.
Kyle said, they'd be like, all right, this one's a little fruity and stuff. And it's like, you know what? I don't hate that one. And they're like,
Exactly.
this one tastes of old cigar. And I'm like, why would anybody? Like,
Wait, I would love to see your like score sheet at the end.
Wait a minute, there's a cigar in there. Oh, who put this in here?
It seems that you love our novelty juicy fruit wine.
Yeah.
Everything else is in the sad face column. So
that's about right. It's like, this one we call Old Sweat Sock. And I'm like, why are you even? What is the point behind this wine?
I've had wine before, like at friends' houses for dinner where like maybe, I don't know if Harley's a wine drinker or not. I don't drink a lot of wine, but like I had a glass poured for me, and like it's a bottle of wine, and they all look the same. And like I took one drink, and it like I look at it, and it's like bourbon barrel wine, 24% alcohol, and it's like this is awful.
Yeah,
this is actively. It's just give me 2 shots of vodka and a soda at this point instead of this. This is a punishment.
Like I remember when White Boy came and stayed with us. We were on a trip somewhere. We went to a Morton's, and this is like right after he had started making a little bit of money, and he grew up super poor. So like I think this might have been the first time he'd ever been anywhere as nice as a Morton's, and we were trying to make it as memorable and as fancy of the night as possible. So it was like, oh yeah, well he was asking for recommendations, like, oh yeah, get this steak and get these sides, and we'll have some oysters and some shrimp, and he's like, I want wine. I want like a nice glass of wine with my steak. Yeah. And it's like, all right, red or white? He's like, I don't. He's like, red. You want to get a red wine? One of these would be good. And he's like, pick some like, $22 a glass wine. And I just remember him getting it and like, oh. Can I get a Coca-Cola like Kyle?
Coca-Cola is good with
not
steak.
Being down with it at all. And I remember thinking like, yeah, that's the first thing you learn when you get some money. Not everything that's expensive is worth it.
Dude, you dropped 22 on a glass of wine. You got to muscle through it.
I just did a show recently called Wine and Cheeseburger. It's on Facebook, but I did it with Thrillist, and it revolved around basically me eating fast foods paired with a wine. And it was just this year. So I got to experience wine selected for specific meals, like the Popeyes chicken sandwich, or like like the Big Mac, like wine paired with that. So I got to learn a bunch about wine through this sommelier. And I never like drinking during eating because like I love food. And I just always found eating food, like I love steak. And then if I drink wine or even like, like my favorite drink, like an old fashioned or something, no matter how good that tastes, I
Mm.
always drink it. And I'm like, this is different. This is food time and drinking is drinking time. And I get so full in a weird way when I drink wine with meals. And it's just like, I wasn't about it. But on the show, I realized if you pair the wine perfectly to what you're eating, and it sounds so cliche, but like it does bring flavors out. Shit tastes different. Like you could eat something like you could eat we had like fried chicken. And like I was like, yeah, fried chicken. And then I had this wine, and then I ate the fried chicken. I was like, oh, I'm tasting like the spices now that like I know what they wanted the chicken to be, but like
Yeah.
maybe my palate just for whatever I ate, it just wasn't there. But like wine accentuates things, and it could be used as a very valuable weapon to enhance your meals,
Yeah.
But normally, for the most part, I'm just like, I'm trying to eat my steak. I don't want to drink some
Well, I've done
shit
the
right
same thing
now.
I
with
don't
steak
like.
where they'll tell you like, or I had someone who like a friend of mine who was into wine. We were at a nice steakhouse, and he was like, you know what, you after like every bite or two, take another sip of that red wine, and then you're gonna taste more things. And it's like I did that for 1 or 2 bites, and then before you know it, it's like the steak's gone, and it's like, oh, I forgot to do the wine thing. And so it's like I agree with you. I want to focus on munching and eating when I'm
Yeah,
eating.
so I don't know. I can't relate to what Harley just explained, but what I do like to do, or what I have done, I like to get fucked up before I eat, and usually that's weed. Like I would much rather be stoned as fuck before I eat a delicious meal, and like have the munchies and like that empty feeling right where with like the center bottom of your chest is. Like
You feel
it
like
just
you could go forever. You could eat forever.
yeah, like just it feels like there's a bottomless pit in your stomach, and you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna eat so much good food. But like if I have to drink alcohol, like when I was on state probation, I was allowed to drink alcohol. And it was like if I was gonna eat like some good Indian food, I would drink like 4 or 5 shots of like some really good liquor, like whatever it was, some Tito's or I was drinking what's that sugary ass shit I was drinking, that
Oh,
orange cognac.
Grand Gala.
Grand Gala was when I was spending way too much money on Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier is like $38 a bottle, and Grand Gala is like $18 a bottle for the
You
same.
were just like drinking Yahtzee shakers some fucking Grand Gala.
I could put it the fuck away. It's delicious orange cognac. And actually Grand Gala isn't technically cognac, but that's neither here nor there.
Even
But
way less,
anyway,
I think, compared to other alcohols.
I mean it's sugary orangey liquor, it's pretty tasty, especially if you chase it with like a Coca-Cola or even an orange Fanta if you're really classy. So like getting
Orange
real
Fanta's
fucking
extra
shit house.
classy.
No, it's the opposite of that.
I go
Okay.
for Fago. Yeah.
Yeah, Fago. Yeah, Juggalos for life.
Do you not feel like if you're guzzling 5 shots real quick on an empty stomach before you even eat, do you not feel just shitty?
No, I feel drunk. I feel like a little like lightheaded. I get that almost the same feeling of like that of like the munchies like from weed, and I'm just impaired, and everything tastes better. And spicy food is just like a full head rush of like capsaicin, like just fucking burnt. I can feel it everywhere.
That's a good example of spicy food. This is like beer, not wine, but a friend of mine is like really into those IPA designer beers and everything. And like on a lot of them, it'll say on the side, like pair with beef, pair with this, pair with that. And like this one was like pair with spicy. And we were having like some pretty hot chicken wings. And he's like, just have one of my beers. Like you'll like it. Like just try it. Like take little drinks after you have the wings. And it really did work. Like there's something about because it was like a fucking 9% beer. So it wasn't something you guzzle, but like that bitterness of the IPA really did play well with the spices.
Yeah, I like to pay. I like to do get drunk and then eat the spiciest Indian food that I'd ever had in my life. Like they'd be like, they would ask me how spicy, and I'm like, all the way, like whatever, like they don't do like Indian spicy or white people spicy, like the Thai people will, but I'm just like hot, extra hot, like vindaloo hot, like, and I would get chicken, lamb vindaloo as hot as they would make it. and I would drink like 3-4 glasses of ice water while I was eating the meal and have to get up and blow my nose and wipe my eyes multiple times. It
That's how you know
was
it's good.
so spicy. I love spicy food. Indian food and Thai food are my two favorite, like, I don't know, two of my favorite dishes. Like
I'm
Penang
so hungry.
curry, Penang
I know.
curry and chicken vindaloo and tikka masala, extra hot. Like tikka masala is supposed to be this mild dish because it's like the bastardization of Indian food by the British, right? They're colonial underservants. They like brought it back home and made it bland as fuck and added tomato sauce and cream and like, oh yeah, we can eat this. No. I want you to take tikka masala and make it hot as fuck, and I would eat that and just
I
cry my
love
eyes
Indian
out.
food. Yeah. I slept on that for a big part of my life.